Hi guys, today we're going to be talking about the characteristics of the southeast region of the United States. So last week we started our journey through the different regions of the United States. We started with the northeast region, but now we're going to move into that southeast region. This region consists of 12 states, as far north as West Virginia, as far south as Florida, and as far west as Louisiana and Arkansas. You can see all of these states right here on this map. This region is commonly referred to as the Sun Belt due to the location and the warmer climate. But honestly, guys, we normally just call it the South, right? We say Florida, it's a state in the South. We don't normally refer to it as the Southeast region. This region has two very important bodies of water. We have the Atlantic Ocean, which is going to form the east coast of this region, and then we have the Gulf of Mexico, which is going to form the coast of the southwestern part of this region. This region is characterized by those two coastlines, but then also it has another very important landform in the Appalachian Mountains, which are going to be very important to those middle states. There is a world famous hiking trail called the Appalachian Trail in this region. It actually goes from the northeast region because it starts up there in Maine, if you can see this map, and it runs about 2,180 miles through 14 states. Now let's just dive into each state, and I'll give you some fun facts about each. So we have West Virginia, which we are going to call the mountain state. It is mostly made up of mountains. It's the highest elevation east of the Mississippi River. It has a lot of rivers, including the Ohio River, the Big Sandy River, the Tug Fork River, the Cheat River, and the Kanawha River, and the Little Kanawha River. But again, this state, West Virginia, has the highest elevation east of the Mississippi River. So it is the highest elevation of any of the states along the eastern part of the United States. Next, we have Virginia. This is mostly made up of forested mountains, okay? So we have that Appalachian Mountains that runs right through Virginia. It includes the Shenandoah Valley, the Chesapeake Bay, and the Delmarva Peninsula. So we definitely have some diversity in the geography and landforms in this state. One cool fact about the state it has the world's largest natural harbor. So a harbor is going to be, remember, like an inland area off the sea where you can like dock boats and have like it's normally like an import-export area. So Hampton Roads is the world's largest natural harbor, and it's located at the mouth of the Elizabeth River, the James River, and the Nansemond River. Next, we have Kentucky. This is commonly referred to as the Bluegrass State, and it's made up of a mountainous region and a swampland in the Mississippi floodplain. So it's very diverse, okay? So on the east side, we have the mountains, and on the west side, it's kind of low swampland because it butts up to the Mississippi River. We have the Mammoth Cave System, which is the world's longest cave system with over 365 miles of explored caves, and they're still finding more caves in that system. Some major rivers are the Ohio River, the Green River, the Licking River, the Kentucky River, and the Mississippi River. And then there's this very popular event that you may have heard of in Louisville, Kentucky every year called the Kentucky Derby. It is a horse race that happens every year. Next, we have North Carolina. This state can be divided into 4 areas: the Piedmont Plateau, the Atlantic Coastline, the Outer Banks, and the Appalachian Mountains. We have 3 capes. A cape is a point of high land that extends into the ocean. This is normally like a great place for a lighthouse, okay, because it's kind of higher than everything. You can have a good like vantage point to see. So the 3 capes in North Carolina are Cape Hatteras, Cape Lookout, and Cape Fear. Next, we have South Carolina. If you've ever been to Myrtle Beach, then you have been to South Carolina. We have 4 specific areas here where we have the Sea Islands, which is more than 100 islands off the coast. We have the Piedmont Plateau. Remember, a plateau is high ground that is very flat. It's kind of like a mountain without a top. The Atlantic Coastal Plain and the Blue Ridge Mountains. We have some major rivers with the Edisto, the Great Peedy, the Santee, and the Savannah River here. Next, we have Tennessee. This area is definitely characterized by the Appalachian Mountains and the Appalachian Valley. We have a lot of important rivers and lakes. Kentucky Lake is the largest man-made lake in Tennessee and in the eastern U.S. So it's a man-made lake and the largest man-made lake in the eastern U.S. Next, we have Georgia. This area can be characterized by the Appalachian Mountain Range. It also has the Piedmont Plateaus right there, the coastal plain, and then swampland in the southern part of the state. There are some sea islands on the coast as well, so a very diverse state when it comes to geography and landforms. We also have some major rivers there too. We have the Savannah River, Ocmulgee River, Flint River, and the Chattahoochee River. Next, we have Florida, a very popular vacation destination. Florida is a peninsula. It's surrounded on three sides by water, okay? It can be divided into four areas, that Atlantic and Gulf coastline, the upland, the Florida Keys, which are some islands off the southern coast of Florida. There's about 1,700 of those islands, and then the Everglades. If you know anything about the Everglades, it's a very like swampy area, lots of like crocodile, alligators, things like that. Some prominent attractions here are the Kennedy Space Center and Walt Disney World. Next, we have Alabama. Alabama is very hilly and mountainous, but actually 65% of the available land is covered in forest. It's made up of a coastal plain, the Cumberland Plateau, the Piedmont Upland, and the Piedmont Plateau. So very high ground for sure, but forested. There are over 1,350 miles of navigable waters. Next, we have Mississippi. This state is very diverse in its landforms and geography. So in the west part of the state, we have the Mississippi Plains, a very lowland, flat. In the center, we have a hilly region. And on the east part of the state, we have that Gulf coastal plain. So it's flat on the sides and then hilly in the center. We have some very important waterways like the Mississippi River, the Pearl River, the Big Black River, and the Yazoo River. Next, we have Arkansas. Arkansas is going to be made up of two different sections. We have the lowlands to the south and the east, and the highlands to the north and the west. Almost all rivers in Arkansas flow northwest to southeast. Arkansas lakes include Beaver, Call, Shoals, Millwood, and Ouachita. The smallest national park in the country is located in Arkansas. It's called Hot Springs National Park. And finally, we have Louisiana. Louisiana is made up of some lowlands and some terraces and hills. It contains more than 3,000 square miles of inland waters, okay? So that's waters that do not touch the ocean. They're going to be completely inside the state. We have a lot of rivers and just waterways here. It's very important to Louisiana. And this is the home of New Orleans as well.